Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Kingdom Hearts Reaching the Memories. In the last episode, we finished off all of the Disney worlds in the game, and in this episode, I'm only going to do one level, but that one level is Destiny Islands, and we all know how important Destiny Islands is to the Kingdom Hearts universe. But the funny thing is that even in Riku's story, there is some text dialogue that I have to do here right off the bat. I never thought I'd miss the island wind so much. There was a time I couldn't wait to get off this rock, and now I'm acting all relieved. Is that? Hey! What's with you guys? I don't think I've ever seen the three of you so quiet. What? Is there something on my face? Guys! Now that comment about something being on Riku's face, I'm pretty sure that Titus or Waka asked Sora that in Sora's story, so that's kind of cool to think about. But other than text dialogue, there's not really anything special about Destiny Islands in Riku's story, so I will meet you guys in the boss room. Kairi. Hey, Kairi, are you? No! Surely you knew this would happen. You've been to a number of worlds in your memory before this one. And in those worlds, you met only dark beings. That's all that's left in your heart. Dark memories. Your memories of home are gone, each and every one. That's a lie. I remember everyone from the islands. Titus and Selphie and Waka, Kairi and Sora too. They're my closest friends. And who threw away those friends? Maybe it's your own actions that you've forgotten. You destroyed your home.
Huh? Huh? This is... that night! All of the islands you grew up on were sundered, scattered. Many hearts were forever lost to the darkness. Because of what you did! You hated being an islander, so you opened the door to darkness and destroyed the islands. It was you! You were pulled into the darkness then, and now you belong to the darkness. You should look at what you truly are!
Alright guys, here we get to fight Darkside yet again. And there's a couple of things that I want to talk about that really don't have anything to do with Darkside, considering this is the exact same fight that we fought in Sora's story. But one thing I want to talk about that I can't remember if I've talked about or not, I was going to talk about it in the last episode, but if I did, I'm sorry for repeating myself, but I'm almost 99% sure I did not talk about it. In Sora's story, in the Game Boy Advance version of this game, there was a card called the Dark Ball, and we all know what the Dark Ball Heartless looks like. In the Game Boy Advance version of the game, it helped you do something when you played multiplayer, which for some reason there is no multiplayer version or multiplayer mode in the PlayStation 2 version of this game, So the Dark Ball, I'm almost 99% sure that the Dark Ball enemy card is not in Sora's story, but it is in Riku's story. I can't remember what it does, because it does something completely different from what it did in the Game Boy Advance version of the game. And that's another thing, by the way, speaking of getting all the cards, when I beat Riku's story, I want to go back to Sora's story, because, you know, doing Riku's story unlocks a lot of things that you can get in Sora's story, but also the fact that I've run through a lot of the levels at this point in Riku's story means that I'm going to have to go back through a lot of the levels in Riku's story to fight some of the Heartless that I've missed to complete the journal. But that really shouldn't take that long. The only part that'll take any time at all really is getting the random Joker card in Riku's story, which is pretty random. And from what I remember, that's going to be like the hardest thing to find to complete Riku's journal. But then after that, like I said, I'm going to go back to Sora's story and get all the enemy cards and all that. And there are also things called the Gold and Platinum cards, which I believe are new for Rechain of Memories. And by the way, I don't really know if I've ever explained the history behind Rechain of Memories all that much, so you know what, might as well go ahead and talk about it now, just briefly. It came with, as far as I know, it was a Japanese-only release, and it came with Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix Plus, which is funny because I just bought that, so at this point, or whenever that comes, I'm gonna have like 3 copies of Rechain of Memories. But yeah, that's where it came from in the first place, and then they decided for some reason to release Rechain of Memories in the United States. I don't think that Europe even ever got it, so anybody out there from Europe can tell me. But for some reason, they decided not to release Final Mix of either Kingdom Hearts 1 or Kingdom Hearts 2 or Birth by Sleep in the United States. But that was a really long tangent that I did not really expect to go on. Of course, here we're going to be getting the Darkside card, which I know I never talked about. Basically, what it does is copy the enemy card that the enemy has played. Basically, if the enemy has played a card and you play the Darkside card, it copies their card. But of course, we're going to be getting some cutscenes here that wrap up what we've seen, and then we're going to be getting into another boss fight.
Sora! Sora!
Now, even though it looks like we should probably interact with that door, we're not, because all it does is put you back out on the map. What we will do, though, is interact with Sora over here.
Sora! It's me! Oh! What? Stop it, Sora! Don't you recognize me? Yeah, I recognize you. I can see exactly what you've become. How can the light hurt you? Riku! Have you really become a creature of the dark? You're not Riku anymore. You're just a pawn of the darkness. So be it. It's time for you to face the light! I'm fading away into the light.
You won't fade. You can't fade. There's no power that can defeat you. Not the light, not the dark. So don't run from the light, and don't fear the darkness, because both will make you stronger.
Make me stronger? Darkness too?
Yeah, strength that's yours. The darkness inside your heart, it's vast and it's deep. But if you can, Truly stare into it and never try to look away. You won't be afraid of anything again.
All this time I've tried to push the darkness away.
You've gotta just remember to be brave. Know that the darkness is there and don't give in. If you do that, you will gain strength. The kind that's unlike any other. You'll be able to escape the deepest darkness.
And I'll be able to see through the brightest light.
Follow the darkness. It'll show you the way to your friends.
Can I face them?
You don't want to?
You know I do. Of course. And I will. With my strength. My dark strength. Darkness!
Impossible! How is it that you found me when you were there in the light?
You reek of darkness. Even the light can't block the smell. I guess I followed the darkness right to you.
This is absurd. Then I shall make you see that your hopes are nothing, nothing but a mere illusion!
Luckily for this fight, we get a permanent Dark Riku mode, which means that even if we take damage, or if we have cards that get broken or whatever, we will never turn back into regular Riku, which is really lucky, because Zexion is probably one of the hardest and most annoying bosses in the game, and he's probably a little less hard than the actual fight in Sora's story and a little less annoying than Ursula, but that combination makes for a fairly frustrating boss fight. What makes him truly frustrating to me is the fact that he turns your deck against your will, and also he doesn't just turn the deck, he steals cards from it with that sleight called Cyclone Snatcher, or whatever it's called, Cyclone Snatch. Basically, you don't get your cards back until he plays these books on the field, and you have to attack the books. But once you get the opportunity to attack the books, you hardly have any cards left because he keeps stealing them from you, and at that point, he starts to use your own cards against you. So I'm just going to go ahead and concentrate on this fight. I would normally never do this, and I don't know if I have done this yet, except for that card fight at the very beginning of this Let's Play, but I would really hate to lose to this boss fight, so I hope you guys enjoy what I hope will be a fairly entertaining fight. And I took care of Zexion, yet another boss, with the finishing strike of a Dark Break attack, which, like I said before, feels really good. But I would like to apologize once again for being so quiet during that fight. In my sick frame of mind, I have a feeling that talking and playing is probably not the best idea, but I took care of Zexion anyway. Now, speaking of Zexion, here is his enemy card, and basically what it does is give you a chance to confuse an enemy upon, striking them. So I'll definitely have to get that in Sora's story, but I hope you guys are ready for a really long bout of cutscenes here.
After all your protests, you're still like us on the side of darkness.
I know who I am.
When did that happen? You were always terrified of the dark before.
Not anymore!
What is he? No one's ever worn the darkness the way that he does. It's impossible. Oh yes, the replica, of course. We can use this Riku to defeat the real one. Axel?
Wouldn't you like to be real? All you need is the kind of power that the real Riku doesn't have. If you can get that, you can be a new person, not Riku, nor anybody else. You won't just be a copy of someone, you will be unique, your own self.
Axel! What are you saying to him?
You know, he's as good a place to start as any.
You can't do this!
So sorry, Zexion. You just found out way too much.
Riku. Riku.
Who's there?
I know you can feel it. The grip that I have on your heart.
Huh?
You have led in the darkness, Riku. That means very soon your heart shall become an all-consuming darkness.
I'm not like that now.
Yes, you are.
No! Can't move.
The deeper the darkness runs inside you, the stronger I become. Controlling you is effortless. Must you interfere again?
Ooh, sure glad I made it in time. That ought to keep Ansem busy for a while.
Huh?
Sorry I couldn't come here sooner, Riku.
Your Majesty, is it you?
Uh-huh. Whoa! That tickles!
This time, you're not an illusion. I'm so glad that you can make it here.
I made a promise to you that I would find a way, didn't I? Oh.
I'm okay. Don't worry. Guess I'm just relieved. I've been alone so long that having someone else around is a little overwhelming. But, how did you make it here? I thought it was too far.
I found a card to help me. I needed a way out of the realm of darkness, and then suddenly this card appeared right in front of me. When I picked it up, I could see your heart beyond the darkness. That's what let me find you. I guess the card thought its place was to be with you.
Maybe you were right.
And here we get Twilight Town. I don't know if I'm too happy about the explanation for why Mickey was able to get the Twilight Town card and find Riku, but nevertheless, we only have Twilight Town and the final level, which is Castle Oblivion, before we are done with the main storyline in this game. Now, I know for a fact that Twilight Town is mostly going to be sped up running and cutscenes, so if that's your kind of thing, you will definitely want to tune in for the next episode, because the cutscenes are, pretty cool. But I want to thank you guys for watching this episode of Let's Play Kingdom Hearts Reach Into Memories, and I hope to see you guys back for the next episode.
Whoa! That tickles!